Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. And today we're giving back the Ford F100. We have finally completed it. Now, due to some time constraints and things like that, deadlines and all this other stuff, I did not have time to record the rest of this build. I had so much stuff going on. We actually built a whole nother Ford 100. That is actually going to be on the video. We have a full build series on that one from start to finish, very detailed. So make sure you guys catch up on that one. That's going to be coming up after this video. But I thought I owed it to you guys to at least show you the finished product of what we have finished on the truck to get it ready to go. And I do apologize that we didn't get all of it. I know a few of you guys were kind of waiting to see, you know, the next videos and stuff like that. We did a little bit of math, and it had been about a year and a half since I touched this thing from the last time we pulled it out of the shop. So I owed it to the customer and everybody else just to get the job done and move on. So let's go ahead. We'll show you guys the truck and everything that we did and some rundowns, so that way if you guys have any questions or anything like that, we can definitely answer them in the comments and so on and so forth. So let's go check her out. So here she is in her entirety. She turned out pretty dang nice for what we started with. As you guys know, we started with 2 different trucks, and we're trying to make one good one out of 2 anyway. We did have to shorten the bed. We took 1 foot and half an inch out of the bed right here to get our wheel center line and all that good stuff nice and perfect there. So if anybody has any questions on how much you're shortening the bed, that is what we did. 1 foot, half inch. What I did is I chopped the bed, and then I left the trim long, and then I remeasured it, chopped it, and it just kind of bent this side so it looked like everything was still solid and there to go. When we chopped out the center, I used that piece of panel plus the foot that we took out of here. So the foot that we took out of there is actually this piece here. And then what I did was I just cut a little line on the inside here at a 45, and I was able to bend it over. So as you can see, there's no weld here, but there's a weld there. So we were able to break it, bend it over, and use it as one full solid piece. I think that turned out really nice. Out of all of them I've done, that is probably the happiest I've been with the notch that we've done using the original metal. A lot of the times we use short bed trucks, so we don't have that other piece of metal. So we end up having to use, you know, 2 pieces of new metal on front and back side. So that's kind of one trick thing that I thought was really nice about this. We were able to run the filler neck right there. Out of all the filler necks I've done, this one is really nice. It doesn't touch the wheel at all on the inside. It fills up really nice. I took it to the gas station the other day, and it fills up on full trigger. A few that I've built in the past, I don't know what it is. The flow of them doesn't work right, and you kind of have to go half trigger, and it just sucks when you have to sit there at the pump for days and days and days filling this thing up. So very happy with that filler neck. We did stay with the stock wheels. He's got some hubcaps that are going to go on there and just kind of make it look vintage. I think I really like that. Tail lights, we kept all the regular tail lights. Instead of using the old tail light that are in these, we actually drilled 2 new holes in the housing, and we ran the Crown Vic lights inside there. So we have all the functioning reverse, you know, turn signals, brakes, all that good stuff running is all up to date in there. We just welded some bumper brackets on there. Nothing fancy about the bumper. Nothing really to be spoke about there. We did install some new mirrors. Before it had the big old like truck style mirrors here. He liked these round circle mirrors. Those are pretty sweet, so we put those on. And same with the front end. Nothing too special. We kept it all original, things like that. We just welded up. I did chop the front frame horns off the other frame that's out back over there. And I used them so we can use the original bolt holes for the bumper. And then we just welded the frame horns to the original Crown Vic frame. Like I said, nothing too fancy there. Original headlights, original, but they're new. Updated blinkers and stuff like that, but still the old bulbs, so we don't have that hyper flash, things like that. Hood fits pretty decently. The hood hinges had sat for about almost a year and a half, completely sprung open, so they're a little on the, I don't know what you want to call it, wonky side. I have them adjusted all the way down, but they're still sitting up a little bit in the back there. I'm hoping that they'll settle, but if they don't, I did save the other hood hinges off the other truck right there for them. so he can swap them over if he needs to or wants to, things like that. So let's go ahead. I'll jump into the engine bay. I'll show you guys what we did there. So everything's just kind of solid mounted on the fenders like they were on the Crown Vic. You know, we just got them all bolted up, kind of like original. Crown Vic had plastic wheel tubs, so he wanted the metal tub. So we did the best we could with what we had. But everything turned out pretty solid. Everything's mounted up really nicely. All that stuff. We still got the cruise control. He's going to get some switches and put on the inside. I'll kind of show you that here in a little bit. But the brake pedal system, that worked out really nice. It bolted in the original spot. We had to do a little bit of trimming on the bracing and stuff like that. And then we had to extend the brake pedal about 4 inches, so that way it would come down in the right position where the driver felt comfortable. We did use the Crown Vic throttle pedal and throttle cable, all that good stuff. And I think that was really about it for getting this thing kind of buttoned up on the top end. We did have to add in some different heater core lines, so they ran nicely. You can kind of see down here, all the radiator. We had to move it forward, but we still got plenty of gap there. Everything's just nice and tidy, you know, where he can go ahead and drive that. Like I said, nothing too special there. The next Crown Vic F100 that you guys will see, we did the build completely different, 100% different. So you guys got to watch that one. After doing that one, I will never do them like this again. And what I mean by that is how we hard mount the cab and things like that using the old cab floors and firewall. The new one that we built, we used the firewall from the Crown Vic, the floor from the Crown Vic, and it turned out cherry. So make sure you guys catch up on those videos when they start to come out. And last but not least, let's jump into the interior. So as you can see, we got pretty much a full interior in this whole thing. We ended up having to use the bench seat out of the other truck. It was a little bit nicer as far as that goes. I do hate these seat covers. They are just so itchy and feel like fiberglass. I did tell him they sell some over at O'Reilly. Hopefully he goes and picks up another set because they're kind of irritating the right end, but they do look cool. So anyway, we were able to use one of the floor mats that were in there. They're a little ripped up. He's going to get some new carpet. We did have to do some new floor panels in there. Kind of so-so, you know, as far as that goes. Once again, we were on a budget. We were on a time frame and stuff like that, but we don't have holes in the floorboard anymore, so that is a plus. We were able to stick with the original steering wheel. I really like this trick. You know, a lot of times we do the Crown Vics with the other steering wheel. One, because they had the PAT system in it with the chipped key, but we were able to pull the chipped key out and we actually hid it up underneath the dash here, and the key is all still in there, so the security system is all happy and good to go. So that was one nice thing about keeping the original steering wheel. I couldn't use the light switch like I did in the other one, which you guys will see. The older 2000 Crown Vic, they had a different light switch. You really couldn't integrate the old light switch with the new one. Typically what I would do is take this light switch, integrate it with that one so it still looked old. I tried to do it, just wouldn't work out. So we ended up just cutting a little spot here in the bezel. It used to have a gauge on this side and it already had a hole, so we just cut that hole there and everything works really nicely. Happy with that. Integrated the dash cluster like we always do, nothing new there. It actually fit in there pretty nicely. We did add in a stereo for him, just a cheap little dual Bluetooth deck. We got two 6x9s behind the seat here. Can't really see it, but anywho, the stereo sounds pretty decent. He just wanted something to jam out to while I was rolling down the road, nothing too extravagant, just a little bit of tunes and stuff like that. So yeah, like I said, not too much to see under here. All the wiring is hid up under the dash. Glove box works, ashtray works, all that good stuff. Everything's still functional. We mounted the ECU and the fuse box kind of right up in there. Like I said, just to the point, nothing too fancy. It's just going to be a driver, you know, that's the one thing about the whole thing. So one thing that everybody's probably going to ask is about the shifter, and I'll let you know a little bit about that. So what we went with is the low car 23-inch shifter. It is for the AOD/4 or the 7W4. I could be wrong on it. The 4W7. something like that. Whatever the Ford transmissions are, I don't know enough about them, but if you look them up, I got this one from Speedway Motor. Everything with the boot and the shifter and everything all said and done was just right about $600. So kind of expensive, but the shifter works really well, and it's kind of got the vintage look that you want with building the vintage truck like this, especially if you're not going updated in the interior. So yeah, that is pretty much for the the tour of the interior. We'll go ahead, we'll fire this bad boy up. She starts right up as a Crown Vic should. That's kind of why we do these frame swaps and stuff like that, is so we have that drivability and turnkey. And that is, I don't know if I'd showed you, but we did use the original ignition, which was nice. That just kind of keeps the look of it. So there you go, guys. I'll probably wait for Katie to get back, have her hold the phone while we do a little drive around the block. That way I'm not, driving all weird, but good to go. All right, guys, Katie's back. We're gonna go take a cruise around the block, kind of show you the drivability of this thing. Like I said, turnkey, ready to roll. It's actually pretty quiet for, doing what we did. On the other Crown Vic that you guys are gonna see up next, like I said, we used the firewall and the floor from that Crown Vic. And that truck was built so perfect in my opinion. I love driving that truck. I did not want to give it back to him. And it was just so dang quiet, as you can agree. We could drive around and we didn't have to yell. I mean, it was just super duper nice. Had the AC from the Crown Vic, super cold, everything that you could ask for. So it's not a bad ride as a whole. I do believe there was a little issue with maybe the idle air control valve at one point, as it sat for so long. I think it's kind of gummed up. I did let the customer know that may be something he wants to address there. Has a little bit of a rough idle, which really wasn't our department to try to diagnose and figure out. So once he gets the truck back, or the car, whatever you want to call this thing, he could definitely dive into that. We kind of, like I said, we did our portion of what we needed to do. All the blinkers work, everything's functional. I don't know. I wouldn't mind driving this truck. How about you? At least for a little bit. I don't know if it would be my everyday driver type of situation, but I wouldn't mind driving for a month or two before I flip this bad boy. It does need a nice detail and things like that. He is actually coming to pick it up today and take it back to Texas. So I don't know if we'll have time to detail everything up. But other than that, that's the interior, that's the drive. That is it for this video. I do appreciate y'all watching. Sorry I didn't record more on this build. I should have tried to get a little bit more into it. Just like I said, don't have to blab on about it. But figured I owed you guys this one, at least getting final product done. Stay tuned for that next one. It is going to be awesome. Bunch of little tips and tricks and things that we did differently, and so on and so forth. This one is going to be good, so don't miss it. Catch y'all later.